Whatculture.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with having an inquiring mind full of healthy skepticism. Politicians and journalists lie to us all the time after all, and it's useful to be able to pick out the truth from the porkies. Unfortunately, combining that with too much internet, a liberal dollop of boredom, and maybe forgetting to take your meds once or twice, and you're suddenly living in a world where the government is either trying to spy on you or kill you. I'm Cal from Whatculture.com, and this is 11 seriously bizarre conspiracy theories. Number 11. The government is poisoning you with planes. One of the government's favourite ways to get us is by streaking the sky full of very, very visible toxin trails that you can see coming out the back of planes. The fluffy white trails in the sky, known as chemtrails, are believed to be weather-controlling materials that are being sprayed into the atmosphere. Others believe that they're full of nanofibers and are designed for us to be breathed in by us humans, and they were going to cause us health problems that are going to make us want to buy more pharmaceuticals. Scientists, if that's what they really are, claim it's condensation, but they would, wouldn't they? Number 10. Fluoride in drinking water is mind control. Keeping with the same theme that the government is trying to poison you, what's up with fluoride? Well, surely it's to make our teeth nice and white. Well, no, because the government is apparently putting fluoride into our drinking water to poison you and turn us into mindless zombies. Conspiracy theorists have put into a couple of ideas upon this. One camp claims that fluoride makes us ill, meaning that we need to spend more money on pharmaceuticals, and another group, meanwhile, is claiming that it's being added as a mind-controlling weapon. Number 9. Beyonce is in the Illuminati. The Illuminati is a true blessing for the terminally paranoid. The idea is that some people in their secret organisation of super wealthy, super privileged elite are calling all the shots. It's a weird conclusion to come to, considering that we already have a super wealthy, super privileged elite calling the shots. They just don't bother to keep it a secret. It's called the government. One of the very best things about the Illuminati conspiracy is the sheer range of characters that are supposed to belong to it. Beyonce is a favourite at the moment as she keeps making a triangle symbol with her hands, and she's named her child Blue Ivy, which of course stands for Born Living Under Evil, Illuminati's very youngest. Obviously, that clearly makes sense. Number 8. Wealthy shape-shifting lizard people rule us all. David Icke has made a reasonable name for himself, coming up with increasingly crazy conspiracy theories. How most famous people and the powers that be are shape-shifting lizard people, hell-bent on controlling the human race. Amongst those accused of being lizard people are Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now, I want you to listen to me. I did not have sexual relations with a lizard lady. The Queen of England, one is not a lizard, and weirdly, Bob Hope. Oh, and they're all paedophiles as well. Some have claimed that Icke's indictments on lizard people are actually an anti-Semitic attack, and when he says shape-shifting lizard people, he actually means Jews. Icke has claimed that this is completely untrue, and when he says shape-shifting lizard people, he literally means shape-shifting lizard people. Number 7. Satan is gender confusing your children. American superstore Target recently announced that it would no longer be genderizing its products aimed at children. What a triumph for gender equality, I hear you cry. Well, no, apparently not, because Beelzebub is using the medium of American retailers to gender confuse your children and steer them off path of righteousness. Well, why would any other teenager be exposed to non-gendered toys suddenly turn into an aggressive and seemingly possessed by the demonic entity himself? Most people tend to call that just puberty. Number 6. The Middle Ages never happened. Okay, what if I told you that it wasn't in fact 2016, but it is actually the year 1790? According to the theory called Phantom Time Hypothesis, the period between 614 AD and 911 AD simply didn't happen. The history buffs amongst you will have noticed that it pretty much covers the whole of the Dark Ages, in Britain at least. Some people suggest that the Holy Roman Emperor Otto III fudged the date so that he could have a throne during the significant 1000 AD millennium, to give him a bit of a boost. Number 5. The Queen is a cannibal. The splendiferously named Hubert Humdinger thinks he may have a sound explanation of the Queen Elizabeth II's bubbly personality and long reign. She eats people, of course. Allegedly, a workman was investigating a wiring problem at Windsor Castle when he discovered strips of human flesh just lying about the place. Because the royals are also apparently seem to have a lax attitude to food safety. This is also the supposed explanation behind the disappearance of 10 Mohawk children that went on a picnic with Queen Liz and Prince Philip, presumably discovering too late that they were in fact the picnic. Number 4. Whatever the hell this is. Timecube.com is a website created back in 1997 by a man called Gene Ray. In its wall of conscious text, the details of the theory of the time cube, suggesting that all modern physics is a lie and proposing that a model of 4 separate days occurring simultaneously is actually true. Ray explains his theory behind the idea of cubic time based on an observation that the Earth has 4 corners, that each experience a different day once at a time. When we say he explains, what we actually mean is that he rants incoherently over 2 pages and thousands of words, and that the clarity and gusto of total lunatic is right there. Maybe it doesn't make any sense to us now, but Gene Ray has described himself as the wisest human on Earth, so maybe we'll just have to agree with him on that one. Number 3. Pyramids, just generally. The building of these great monuments has been attributed from everyone from the Illuminati to aliens, and a lot of people can't seem to get their head around how on Earth something like this could come about. It is a bizarre idea that lends itself to different mysteries, like how people from the olden days could have built such an enormous structure. Here's a hint: slave labour and enormous disposable workforce. Well then, why do they appear all over the world? Here's a hint: a pyramid is a good way of piling up stones that will last a very long time. Lots of cultures have discovered this. Number 2. The LHC is a stargate to awaken the Egyptian god of the dead. If you're going to build a very big scientific machine that's designed to do something very complicated, then most people probably won't understand it, then you're pretty much asking for the internet to accuse you of something utterly mental. Apparently, scientists at CERN have actually been attempting to awaken the Egyptian god of the dead. Sadly, physics experiments can't actually awaken gods, Egyptian, Hindu or otherwise, and it's very difficult to figure out why they'd want to anyway. Number 1. Man will never fly. Yeah, I know. This particular theory states that human flight is totally impossible, and that the first planes ever seen never got off the ground, and that aeroplanes are actually bullet trains with highly realistic television screens for windows. Just ignore those ones in the sky that you see from the ground, obviously. One thing is that people often forget to mention that the Man Will Never Fly Memorial Society, the ones behind the theory, are in fact all made up of pilots who like to drink a lot. Maybe it's not that serious. I've been Cal from Whatculture. You can follow me on Twitter here, and did we miss any out? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.